When it comes to moving your body, how does that make you feel? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel like a constriction of your body? There are no right or wrong answers here, just a simple inquiry for you today. I'm Yang Pratt of Illuminating You Productions. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about the art of movement, or the art of listening to your body so that you can move it in ways that your body is desiring. So much of the work that I do, from my years as a professional dancer, a movement scientist, a performing arts studio owner, to now working in the field of energy, human design, and somatic intelligences, meaning the way your body is wise and tapping into that wisdom. So much of what I do in my work is help my clients to move their bodies. Not in any sort of structured way like you would in ballet class, but to find a rhythm and a style that works to unlock the hidden emotions that may live in your body. If you've ever wondered why maybe every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you get a raging headache and you pop some Advil and it takes away the edge for a while, and yet the next day the same thing happens again. I have learned that that happens, and it's a message for me. When there's a pain, when there is a discomfort, it is an invitation from my body to stop and say, wait, something is going awry and I need for you to explore it. In our culture, however, in our society, we're often handed some Band-Aid solution. And not to knock these things, just simply that I think we've become over-reliant on external things to help us to deal with things that are really needing to be dealt with internally. So movement is one of the ways that I help my clients to unlock the wisdom of their bodies, because when we move our bodies, especially when we move them in new and novel ways, it helps for us to get out of our heads, so we're not overanalyzing, overthinking, ruminating, because many of us can do that from time to time. Moving our bodies really helps us to allow space for ourselves to feel, for ourselves to sense, and for us to investigate what our bodies need, because chances are, in the course of your life, you've been asked to be less you. And every time you were asked to be less you, there was a little bit of a lack of self-trust. You stopped trusting that part of yourself because everyone said it was too much and you should not share those things, or just be smaller, or dim your light a little bit so you don't outshine others. There's lots of these messages that come to us in all sorts of different ways through life, and they live in the body. While your mind may forget some of these experiences, your body never does. So when we move our bodies, it helps us to remember all the ways in which we were asked to be less ourselves. And my work really is about helping you to remember your heart song, the thing that you thought you were going to do, the dreams you had as a child that you wanted to do, that you may have forgotten or lost sight of, or thought, you know what, I'm just not going to do that. And instead, help the people in your life, like your kids or your spouse or your coworkers or your community members. You help them live their full lives while you kind of are this backstage helper, or you're living a supporting character role. The work we do here is really about helping you to reclaim your leading role, because your life, my friend, is the most important production in which you'll ever take part. And you get to be its starring character. And if you feel like you've lost part of yourself, you've lost your mojo, or you're just not sure where to go next, stick around. Because around here at Illuminating You Productions, it really is all about how do we stop looking outside of ourselves for answers when our body, our original oracle, actually knows the answers, and we've just never learned to ask them. When you move your body, it's easy to judge the movement. And my invitation to you today is to not judge what your body is doing and just allow your body to feel. What does it feel like when you lift your elbow up higher than your shoulder, if you're able to do that? What does it feel like when you tip your body to the side? And just notice how your body is always carrying you, how it's protecting you. And we're helping to unlock any of the emotions, any of the experiences where we are asked to be less ourselves. They're in our bodies somewhere. And when we move, we're able to access these places that we may not even in our minds remember, yet our body never forgets. My invitation to you then today is to allow yourself 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute or more. Let your body guide this process. Maybe put on a piece of beautiful music, your favorite song, and just dance it out or move it out. It doesn't have to be anything structured or choreographed. This is all about letting your body explore space, letting yourself take up more space, especially if you're someone who's been asked to be smaller and to shine less brightly. Taking up more space is really such a radical act of trusting yourself and opening yourself up to unlocking more of yourself that you may have locked away over the years. I look forward to connecting with you on the next video.